Welcome back to my channel. Today, we explore the value of specific coins, the most valuable Washington quarter dollar coins value in market. First up, the Washington quarter from 1980 with a D mint mark. Could you be holding a valuable piece of history in your pocket or coin jar? Stick around to find out just how much your 1980 D Washington quarter might be worth in today's market. First off, let's talk about what makes the 1980 D Washington quarter special. The D mint mark means this coin was minted at the Denver Mint, one of the U.S. Mint's key facilities. But what makes a 1980 D quarter valuable? Well, it comes down to condition, rarity, and collector demand. The Washington quarter was first introduced in 1932 to honor George Washington's 200th birthday. It replaced the standing Liberty quarter and quickly became a staple of U.S. coinage. For decades, it was struck in 90% silver until 1965, when the Coinage Act changed the composition to copper-nickel clad due to rising silver prices. By 1980, all quarters, including our 1980D, were copper-nickel clad. So unlike older silver quarters, these don't have intrinsic silver value. But don't be fooled. Condition and mint errors can still make these quarters quite valuable. The 1980D quarter had a relatively high mintage, over 351 million coins. That means they're not particularly rare, but despite this, some collectors actively seek out coins from this year, especially in higher grades or with special characteristics. So, what determines the value of your 1980D quarter? Condition is king. We use a grading scale from good to mint state, with mint state MS coins being uncirculated and having no wear. Here's the breakdown. In circulated condition, that's coins that have been used in everyday transactions and show signs of wear. The 1980D quarter is worth face value or just a bit more, maybe 250.0. But if you have a 1980D quarter in good condition, meaning it has visible details, no major scratches or corrosion, and only moderate wear, it could be worth between 100.00. The real value lies in mint state coins, that is, those uncirculated coins that look almost brand new. A 1980D quarter in MS60 to MS65 condition can fetch anywhere from $170 or more, depending on the exact grade and market demand. Coins graded by professional services like PCGS or NGC command higher prices. For example, an MS65 graded 1980D Washington quarter might sell for $300 in today's market. Sometimes, a coin's value skyrockets because of errors or rare varieties. For the 1980D quarter, some collectors look for double die errors or minting anomalies, which can push prices much higher. While 1980D Washington quarters aren't widely known for major errors, minor die cracks or doubling can make your coin unique and valuable. Always check your coins carefully, and if you suspect an error, consider getting it professionally evaluated. Today's coin market fluctuates based on collector interest, economic factors, and rarity. While 1980D quarters aren't the holy grail of coins, a high-grade specimen or error coin can bring a nice payday. If you're thinking about selling, remember that online auctions, coin shows, and local coin shops are great places to start. Always compare offers, and if you have a coin you think might be valuable, getting it graded professionally can maximize your return. So, to sum it up, most 1980D Washington quarters are worth their face value, but if you have one in good to mint condition or a rare error, you could have a valuable coin on your hands worth anywhere from $1,000 up to $200 or more. Next up, the Washington quarter dollar from 1985, minted in Philadelphia with the famous P mint mark. But here's the twist. We're focusing on coins in damaged condition. You might think damaged coins are worthless, but surprisingly, some of these can still hold value. So how much is a damaged 1985 P Washington quarter worth in today's market? The Washington quarter was first introduced in 1932 to honor the 200th anniversary of George Washington's birth. Since then, it's become one of the most widely circulated coins in the United States. The 1985 quarter is part of the regular circulation series, minted at the Philadelphia Mint, denoted by the P Mint mark found on the right side of Washington's portrait. Before we talk value, let's clarify what we mean by damaged condition. In coin collecting, damage can be anything from heavy scratches, corrosion, dents, cleaning marks, or even environmental damage like water exposure or chemical stains. While collectors generally prefer coins in mint or near mint condition, damaged coins still have a story and sometimes a market for reference. A 1985p Washington quarter in uncirculated or mint condition might be worth around $200 depending on grade and market demand. In circulated condition, it's usually worth just its face value of $250, unless it has errors or rare varieties. So, what about damaged coins? Well, damaged coins often sell for less than face value among collectors. However, they can still have some value, especially if they are rare errors or if someone wants them for educational or novelty reasons on the secondary market. A heavily damaged 1985p quarter might fetch anywhere from $230. Why less than face value sometimes? Because damage can severely reduce the coin's appeal for collectors and sometimes even its silver content or intrinsic metal value. Here's an important note. If your 1985p quarter shows any kind of mint error, like double striking, off-center strikes, or die cracks, even if it's damaged, it could be worth more than a typical damaged coin. These errors attract collectors who specialize in mistakes made by the mint. Currently, the coin market is fairly stable. Damaged 1985p quarters typically sell for low prices, mostly for novelty or educational use. If you want to sell yours, consider online platforms like eBay or coin forums. Always disclose the condition clearly to avoid disputes. Next up, the 1971 Washington quarter with the D Mint mark, especially in extra fine condition. Stick around because you might just be sitting on a hidden treasure. So, what makes the 1971 D Washington quarter special? At first glance, it might look like your everyday pocket change, but in the world of coin collecting, condition and mint marks can make all the difference. The D Mint mark means this quarter was struck at the Denver Mint in 1971. Millions of these quarters were produced, so you might think they're pretty common. But here's the catch: not all of them survive in high-grade conditions like extra fine or better. Extra fine, or EF, is a coin grading term that means the coin shows only light wear on its highest points, but retains much of its original detail. For the 1971 D Washington quarter, this means sharp lettering, clear details on George Washington's profile, and crisp edges. The Washington quarter series has been around since 1932, originally minted to honor George Washington's 200th birthday. By 1971, these quarters were part of everyday life, but collectors value well-preserved pieces from this era as they represent the last years before the switch to clad metal composition. Oh, let's talk numbers. How much is a 1971 D Washington quarter worth in extra fine condition today? Prices typically range between $260. That might not sound like a lot, but considering the face value is $200, it's a 20 to 60 times increase. For coins graded higher, like about uncirculated or mint state, prices climb even higher, sometimes hitting $300. Condition is king in coin collecting. Even a small amount of wear can reduce a coin's value significantly. That's why extra fine coins command a premium, because they're rare to find in circulation with minimal wear. So, before you spend or trade your quarters, take a closer look. You might just have a 1971 D Washington quarter in extra fine condition that could add some nice value to your collection, or even cash in a little extra cash. Next up, the 1980 for Washington quarter with the D Mint mark, especially when it's in what many would call dirty condition. But don't let the grime fool you. These coins can still be worth money. Most people think only pristine, shiny coins are valuable, but that's not always the case. Sometimes, even dirty or circulated coins can have value. So let's talk about what makes the 198 Washington quarter special, why collectors care about it, and how much you could expect to get if you find one in your pocket or jar. The Washington quarter series has been one of the most iconic coins in the United States since 1932. The 1984 quarter falls within the standard clad composition era, meaning it's made of copper and nickel rather than silver. It was minted at several locations, including Denver, hence the D mint mark on coins made there. The 198 quarters were produced in huge quantities, millions upon millions, so on the surface, you might think they're not rare. But as always with coins, condition, mint errors, and collector demand play a huge role in value. Now, when we say dirty condition, we mean coins that have circulated heavily, often found in change jars, wallets, or on the street. These coins show signs of wear, dirt, scratches, or oxidation. While such a condition drastically lowers the coin's collector grade, it doesn't necessarily mean the coin has zero value. Many collectors are interested in coins for their date and mint mark, and sometimes even dirty quarters can be worth more than their face value, especially if there's a unique feature or error presented. A typical circulated 198 Washington quarter, especially one in dirty or poor condition, is usually worth around $250.00 to collectors. This is above face value, but far from the $100 or more that pristine uncirculated versions might fetch. If you find a 1984 quarter and want to check if it's the Denver mint version, look for the small D just below the wreath on the reverse side. That's the key. If your quarter is dirty, don't try to clean it aggressively. Cleaning coins can reduce their value dramatically. Instead, gently rinse it with water and let it air dry. Preserving the natural patina is usually better for collectors. Also, look for any unusual features like double dyes, minting errors, or unique toning. Sometimes, even dirty quarters with such errors can sell for a premium. If you want to sell, check online marketplaces like eBay or visit your local coin shop for appraisal. Keep in mind, most dealers will offer near face value for dirty circulated quarters unless there's a unique feature. But if you're a collector or hobbyist, holding on to these coins can be rewarding as part of your collection, especially if you're aiming to complete a full set of Washington quarters. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe for more coin collecting tips, and leave a comment if you've ever found a surprising coin in your pocket change. Thanks for watching, and happy hunting!